Good snowy, rainy, cold day, everybody. We're on part 2 of our 3-part series for preparing for your home buying adventure. Part 1 was all about setting your goals, which are hugely important. Today we're going to talk about organizing your finances. Now, I'm not talking about what you need to do to qualify for a mortgage or the different mortgage programs out there. Okay, I'm not a mortgage officer. We save those kind of questions for the professionals in that world. What we're here to do today is just simply get you organized. So the reason we want to get you organized is because it helps us set up your home search, all right, when we know how much money you want to pay per month in a mortgage and how much you have to buy a home. We can put that into mortgage calculators and get you a rough estimate on sale prices or a good range of a sale price for your home search, all right? The second reason is because you'll see next week in part 3 where we're building your team. Hint, hint, that's the name of next week's episode. Part of your team is your mortgage loan officer. So when we go to introduce you to that person, we'll be able to give them some information that we've learned about your finances, organizing those, and they'll be able to best help you. They'll be able to sit down and have a really good initial conversation with you and really drill down on how they can best help you. So, how do you organize your finances? The first thing you should do is determine what your ideal monthly mortgage payment should be. An amount. It doesn't matter if it's $2,000, $3,000, $1,500. It doesn't matter. Everybody's different. What you should sit down and say is start with your baseline. And so if you're paying rent right now, your rent amount is your baseline. That's your starting point on your mortgage. Okay, some people rent for a lot and their mortgage ends up being a little bit less. Some people's mortgage amount is higher than their rent. It doesn't matter. You just sit down and go, what's my current cost of living, cost of housing, and it's rent X or my mortgage X. Now, if you're own a home right now and you're thinking of selling a home and buying a home, well, it's your current mortgage, and some people move up in home, and so that's your baseline, and you're going to pay a higher mortgage down the line. Or some people move down in home and they're cutting back or downsizing, and you can set your goals up that way as well. So take out a piece of paper and go through your last 30 days bank statement. So just go print out last month's bank statement or pull it up online and go through each line item and determine what's important, what's a absolute necessity, and what did I spend excess money on. Most of us spend excess money on going out to eat. I'll just go ahead and say it. Guilty, okay? So most of you can stop going out to eat 5 times a week and just do it twice and save yourself 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, a few $100. Most of us. If we stop going through the drive-through coffee place, you could probably save a lot more. So go through your finances and say, hey, look, I want to live my current lifestyle. Where do I have excess that I can trim back? And come up with your monthly mortgage payment. If you are married or you're buying a home with a partner, you need to do this with your partner, just like setting your goals. All right, we're doing all this together. So that's number 1, your ideal monthly mortgage payment. Go through your bank statement, come up with that number. Number 2 is how much money you have to buy a home. Now, this is not how much money you have in your bank accounts or in your 401k or all of that. While that's an important number, this is how much you're going to pull from all these accounts and decide this is what I can afford to buy my home with. This is the money I can spare to go put into my home. Now, what I really recommend and what most folks would recommend is that you have a couple of months of savings, expenses, housing, and all of your debts and expenses. What they call an emergency fund, you hear a lot of people say. Have a couple of months, 2 to 3, if not more, in your savings account once you close and move into your new home. All right? So think about, I need $10,000 in a savings account. I can live off that for a few months as an emergency fund, and I've got $50,000 in an account. So if I keep 10, I've got 40 available to buy a home. Now, I'm just making that up. Everybody's a little bit different. Come up with that number, all right? How much money do you have to buy a home? Now, listen, when we start talking finances with people, everybody kind of gets irritable or it gets kind of weird. So let's just go ahead and put this out there. We don't want to know how much money you have to buy a home or your monthly payment to qualify you as a buyer, all right? There's no difference between the guy that can afford $1,500 a month and the lady that can do $5,000 a month. All right, in my eyes, I don't care. I want to help you, And the best way for me to help you is to know where you're sitting financially so that we can put you in the best possible path for success. Okay? So if you feel like you're getting bombarded with financial questions and you're like, this makes me feel uncomfortable, just raise your hand. Hey, explain to me the benefit of knowing this information. All right? Because that's what we're here to do, is educate you. So, as a recap, number 1 in the 3-step process to preparing for your home adventure is setting your goals. Number 2 is organizing your finances. Do that by knowing your ideal monthly payment and how much you can afford to spend on buying a home. With these 2 numbers in place, we can put together a good home search for you, or at least start determining what your sale price looks like in the areas that you're interested in living in. And it gives us a lot of information for introducing you to your mortgage loan officer, which we're going to talk about more next week in building your team. Stay tuned. Baby Addison is going to be here literally any minute. So I had to turn this video out really quickly. That way we could get prepared to head to the hospital. And next week, probably on next week's video, she'll make her debut. We're going to talk about building your team. If you have any questions or need anything, just holler at me. If I can't get back to you, a member of our team will. See you guys later.